Hey guys, Andrea, life coach and nurse. And one thing I know is that as a nurse, I have all the other parts of my life that I want to be resilient in, not just in my career. I also want to be resilient in parenting, and I want to be resilient in money and in value and in goals and fitness and all of the things. And so one thing I wanted to touch on that I don't often touch on is about parenting. And we'll talk about how this pulls back to nursing in just a moment, but often we're like, I absolutely love everything about my kids, but this one thing. This thing is a problem. And what we want to notice is that normally that thing that they're doing is a problem because it makes us think we're a bad parent or it makes us see their worst case scenario, right? Of course, there is a fine line between helping kids understand their path and letting them experience their path, right? Like safety as a parent and teaching safety is always really important. But we want to be very clear that our brain doesn't share with us our beliefs that things should be a certain way or a certain journey before we can continue to admire our children or think they're on the right path. Um, what we know is that our feelings for our kids change when we're thinking certain things about them. And so when we're thinking they may be on the wrong path, when we're approaching them about something that we would like to parent on, that brings up a feeling of hesitancy, maybe, or judgment or fear. And we do know that we want to try to approach them with a feeling of compassion and curiosity. And oftentimes we're pretty good at it, but sometimes that's just a little shift that does help when we're heading into a conversation where we're like, I know I can be supportive. I also want to be guiding. And so we really want to step into a belief that isn't, this shouldn't be going this way, or this could be their worst case scenario, because our brains really like to go to the worst case scenario. And often that blocks us from being present and saying, oh, let's get a little more curious and let's think about this being the perfect journey for this moment. And how do we talk about this and reframing it, even to the ones that we're parenting? Like, how is this the perfect journey for you now? And if they can answer that question, then that helps us investigate. And if they're like, maybe this isn't the perfect journey for me right now, we can kind of also help them understand how to make changes because their brains work the same way. They're having thoughts and feelings that create their actions and results. And it's a lot easier for us to understand them when we're not thinking that it's our fault that they're showing up that way. It's never our fault. We're separate humans. We want to be able to hold that space for them to understand, are they on the journey they want to be on, and are they feeling guilty, or is there a feeling there that's keeping them silent or afraid? Is it failure or rejection? And how can you show up from a curious and compassionate place? So that's just a little tidbit from a nurse slash life coach, and the fact that that also works in as a nurse because we want to show up with curiosity and compassion even when we think our patients or our coworkers aren't on our desired journey. We're still on our journey and they're on their journey, and how do we meet? And that's us showing up as the person we think they should be, honestly. So if we're complaining in our head about them, are we showing up in the space we want to be? And it's kind of the same with people that we're parenting. Are we doing the same thing that they're doing in our minds to them? We just want to make sure we're clear on that. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks.